Muted, of course. Hello, everyone. Welcome. How's it going today? Kim Justice, thank you so much for the raid. Oh my gosh, how kind of you. I hope you had a really good broadcast. Thank you so much for choosing our channel. That was very, very awesome. Hello. We're doing a broadcast today, a very special broadcast. So it's really nice to have you in. Thank you, Stuart Kenny, for coming in on the raid. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. How was your broadcast? Tell us a little bit about it. I hope it was super fun. And I am really happy to say we are doing a special broadcast. The Awesome Streamer Hour has made a return with an incredible guest today. And I absolutely cannot wait to bring this really amazing guest on. GTA San Andreas, oh nice. Do you do like role play and stuff when you play GTA, or is it just like a regular game playthrough? Those are always so much fun to watch. GTA is a really fun game to watch, but yeah, so today we are using Guest Star to feature an incredible creator. I love doing this show, The Awesome Streamer Hour. It is so much fun. And hello, Elmac. Hi, Be Nice, or else hi, Brother Bill. I am really excited. I always get to talk to some amazing people, right? So the Awesome Streamer Hour. Hi, Alex. Hello, welcome. If you have never seen the Awesome Streamer Hour, the focus of the show is to highlight creators and share a bit about what they do on Twitch and the magic of what they do on Twitch. So I am so happy to have this guest on today. I am really looking forward to having this conversation. It's going to be so cool. You're going to learn so much. And it's just going to be fun. I know it's going to be fun. So I'm just sending out the guest star invite right now. So that they can join in and we can get to chatting. But Guest Star is a really awesome tool. If you have never used Guest Star on your channel and you broadcast, I would definitely consider using it, because collaboration is a really great way to, you know, help others, get some visibility out there, and, you know, just do fun and different things on Twitch. You know, people just think of Twitch as sometimes like just gaming and stuff like that. So, yo, Brother Bill, thank you for gifting that tier 1 sub to Kim Justice. That was really generous of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, Guest Star is so it's easy. You know, there's so many things you can control. Like you control the mic, you control the camera, you can see chat in there, and you can bring in like people from your community and like have them hop on, hop off. Mods can control it. It's such a great tool for you know, having a show on Twitch. Yeah, Be Nice. I would definitely encourage people to try it. And the cool thing that I think is underutilized is using it for gaming with your friends. So I absolutely love, you know, sharing it, like sharing gameplay with other people. You know, I love, you know, like having somebody on and then doing like a multiplayer session and having Guest Star be the tool so that people can see, you know, the other person, because everything works within Twitch. It's really, really nice. So yeah, no, Nick, thank you so much. This is one of my favorites. I actually got it at TwitchCon. So yeah, you motivated me to try this. Okay, you definitely try it. And it's so easy to use. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to like hit me up if you want to see, like if you have any questions about how to use it, how to get started, and all that kind of stuff. So this shirt is fine. Really? You know what's so funny? It was on sale at TwitchCon, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this because I really love yellow. I love wearing yellow. So that's why I picked it up too. So yeah, just hit me up. Yeah, hit me up anywhere, you know. Hello, Jake Frost Chill. Hello, welcome. So I'm gonna bring my guest on. Let me introduce you to whom we will be speaking with today. Seriously, I'm so excited to speak to this incredible creator. And oh my gosh, they are a computer scientist. They are a cosplayer. They are a host. They are hilarious. You know, let's just put that there. You know, they are hilarious. and an incredible, amazing person. They were broadcasting earlier, and I watched the whole show. It was so much fun to watch. So, we're gonna bring on the incredible, the amazing, and wonderful Chelsea Bites. Hi, Chelsea! How's it going? Wait, let me hold on. I think the mic is coming in a little low, so I'm gonna turn the music down temporarily and pull your mic up. Okay,
No
let's try.
problems. Yeah, it'll will be a variance of stuff. Yeah. Hey everybody, nice to see y'all. Hey Alex, Yessie, what's going on? And how you doing, Ash? It's good to see you.
I am great. It's so good to see you too. Okay, cool. I think everything is in order. I'm gonna put a little bit of music back on. Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to come and hang out with us today. I really appreciate it. So, I was watching your stream earlier today. I watched the whole thing. It was so great. I
A
just
mess.
first,
A
first,
mess.
no, seriously,
My
first
lord.
it was,
Uh-huh.
you know what? I loved the conversation you were having. I loved, that you covered like videos. I loved that you were just vibing with your chat. It felt so nice and like chill and fun to be there. So, before I get into all of that, tell everyone about who you are and what you do on Twitch and how you started.
Awesome. Yeah, let me oof, man, the years. I'm Chelsea Bytes. Nice to meet y'all. I'm in Austin, Texas. I'm from Houston, born and raised. I'm from a family of 5. So lot of kids and I'm the oldest. And there's a huge gap between us. So I'm used to being around a whole bunch of smaller children because I worked in before and aftercare and I have a childcare background. But I also loved just getting into stuff, especially computers, because we were there to see it, all the computers and the internet come up. So it was always really fascinating just to see how tech and especially AI or virtual reality was portrayed throughout our lives. And that pushed me to go into computer science when I was in college. And at first, I thought I wanted to be a game developer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did the opposite direction. I was like, the game part actually isn't as interesting as the like science of it all. Because when I started learning about microarchitecture and how you can literally see the breakdown of how an OS operates with hardware, it's fascinating stuff. So I was like, nope, it's more hardware, robot-y stuff for me. Thank you. And then I got my CS degree, math minor, and went out to California and started streaming because I didn't have any family or
Yeah.
friends out in
Yeah.
California. Because nobody tells you this. You go out and you go get a job, Silicon Valley or wherever have you in California, because that's where all the tech jobs were hiring then,
Yeah.
and or still are in some cases. Now you got Austin kind of coming up as a Silicon Hill, whatever they're calling things now. But that led to me streaming because I just wanted to talk to people. I didn't realize how social I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Just strange. So I was talking and we just talked and people would be like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "Oh right, that part. I I build computers. I work for a tech company." Sorry, I got my manager running in and out of here. And I'm with a firm right now, blah blah blah, this that and the other. And then I
Yeah.
finally said, "Oh yeah, let me get my computer out and actually stream properly," because I was streaming on my phone,
Oh my
on
God.
my Samsung 6 Edge
Love that.
in 2018.
Oh my God. It's always so fun to hear like what people's setup was when they first started. Like that is always like, and then from there to where you are now, you know?
A phone. That was my setup. A bad phone at that. I don't know how anybody heard me, actually. I didn't
Yeah.
have like a mic or a lav or anything. I was just yelling at my phone, working on cosplay and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, ultimately that led to me showing off the computers that I built, wanting to build more. It always been my dream to build more computers anyway, because I
Yeah.
thought there was just a missing spice to PCs. Like when you think gaming culture, people think edgy,
Yeah.
RGB, like nothing out of the box or fun.
Yeah.
So I want to bring that even today. But that led to me talking, that led to me working, doing more on camera hosting work.
Yeah.
That's probably like the biggest part. of my career other than the orgs that I've joined and the esports orgs that I've been working with recently. They're so much fun. I love my esports and is League of Legends. I
Yeah.
love Apex too, but that's like my competitive side. That's like my really competitive stuff. I like fighting games. Tekken's my like base fighting game, but Street Fighter 6 is going crazy right now. Like, whoa. But yeah, I've gotten the chance to do a whole bunch of different types of jobs since I started streaming. The first year we did some man on the street interviews, and I was working with Comcast on a channel they were working on, and that was a lot of fun. It was when I actually started meeting other streamers and doing things in public and having a company like bring us out to do it. So
Yeah.
yeah, as wild. I know 5 years boiled into that.
Wow. That is I am just like blown away. I mean, I knew you were inspirational and have done so much stuff. To hear it all condensed like that was just like, oh my gosh, there's so many things I want to know. There's so many questions I want to ask. Like, how did all of these things get started? So, first thing I want to talk about is just what you touched on with building computers. Like, that to me is like, you know, when you see somebody and they're like an artist and they draw and you're like, oh my God, how do they do that? That's like magic. Like, that's how I think about computer science and like building computers. I cannot tell you what a CPU versus a GPU is. So, like, to have, I know I'm embarrassed, but
Don't be embarrassed.
have someone,
Don't.
you know, like you, like be able to explain a little bit like that. And also, I want to show off some of the things that you've done. So tell us a little bit about what it's like building PCs and what you do with that on Twitch. And because I know you also do like charity and stuff in collaboration with building PCs. So tell us a little bit about that.
Awesome. With building computers, and I know we have some artists in here. I know we see Aaliyah in here who be wow, the talent, the skill, right? Just leaps out. Y'all gotta go if you haven't seen Aaliyah's art. Absolutely nuts. Building computers is not nearly as graceful as that, and it's definitely just a lot of it's a lot of prep. Now, I will admit when I first started, I wasn't doing nearly as much prep as you should. And there's ranges to it, just like with art, I guess
Yeah.
you could say, or any skill that you're building up. You start at a place and then you settle or you keep going, you keep pushing. There are people who will go and buy the best parts
Yeah.
and stick it in and they're done.
Yeah.
They'll go and install Windows or Linux or whatever because you can't do that with iOS, not easily
Mm-hmm.
anyway. Like
Mm-hmm.
doing Apple products, trying to customize. Yeah, Apple's got a lock on that. But with parts like that, it sometimes seems really easy to go and just buy a 4090,
Mm-hmm.
go and grab the beefiest motherboard out there, get a huge power supply, and you think you're set. When the real skill, or I'll say the real technical skill, in my personal view, is when you have a goal for your build, like
Yeah.
whether you want to edit or game or do both, or this is specifically for playing or running a simulator or this, that, and the other. Every program, every app, every executable on your computer utilizes your components in a specific way. Some
Yeah.
things do well with hyper threading, some things do better with more cores, this, that, and the other. And every CPU that you can find does these things better or worse than other parts. So it's all about sifting and organizing all of that data, all of those
Yeah.
numbers, all of those capabilities, and making that build work the best at this function. And that's when it gets in the weeds
Yeah.
because then there's overclocking and you can
Mm-hmm.
overclock just about everything, your CPU, RAM, GPU. Some things I feel like you just should or shouldn't, like, just let it be. It's like there's a marginal improvement you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And then you get into, like, air cooled, water cooled, stuff like that. It's all of those little bits of things. It's organizing all of those tiny details and making the perfect build for what you're looking for,
Yeah.
because sometimes you'll go and spend all that money and you're still not doing what you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's still not a build that, like, yeah, you got a great workstation, but is it streaming?
Yeah.
Probably, maybe it could be streaming better. You
Yeah.
never know. And yeah, it's it's a lot of reading. I don't like to read, but it's a
Yeah.
lot of reading. It's a lot of sitting down, organizing, reading, and it's tedious.
Yeah.
But it's fun because it's satisfying when you get it to work, and
Yeah.
every build has its own, like, As my workstation back there, whenever it has a quirk, like it might have like a visual thing, and I have to go and solve that.
Yeah.
And then for this one, it's my first water cooled build. It's Windows 11. It's my first Windows 11 setup. I trust 10 more on certain things. So for me, it's like some you're tapping into stuff that like there are some manufacturers don't always update their drivers. So you think that you go to a Windows site and all of the drivers are all up to date, and it's not. Like you'll have
Yeah.
to go and search.
Yeah.
So sometimes it becomes a hunt for like
Yeah.
the right parts, the right drivers, the right software. You'll have to dig through forums. Wow. Yeah, you just made me realize the mountain of stuff that I've been doing for
Yeah. No,
yeah.
it's a lot, like exactly like you're saying. I think that's the point where I get overwhelmed too, because exactly like you said, okay, I can have all the right parts, but do they work well together? Are they optimized
Precisely.
to work well together? Like, and like,
And yeah, exactly. It depends on how far you want to go because you really can squeeze. If there are people who are overclocking because they want to get every last bit of performance out of their computer. So it depends on what type of builder you are. Some people can just put it together and they're happy with that, and
yeah,
it works enough.
yeah,
For me, I feel like it should be done at the best capacity that it can be,
yeah,
and you should be looking at your BIOS, looking at your temps,
yeah,
looking at your speeds. And if you can get more, you should get more. Don't ever forget to turn on your XMP. I've done that.
yeah,
If you're, especially if you're on an AMD build,
yeah,
please make sure your XMP is on. You'll regret it. But yeah, yeah, it's that's the long and short of what I do as a somebody who builds computers, because not every CS major builds a computer.
yeah.
That's really anybody can do it. Anybody, seriously. So
Okay.
it's just that my two loves happen to coincide.
That's awesome. I love that. And do you ever stream building computers on Twitch?
I do. So
Yeah.
yeah, you did ask that earlier. So with charity especially, but my dream is just to give everybody a computer if I could, just pass them out, right? Like it's sad to see that a lot of people don't even have like a 2000 or 3000 series GPU.
Yeah.
Uh it's so inaccessible because of prices
Yeah.
and knowledge. I think a lot of people aren't. The problem I have with tech is that it's gate kept a lot, like heavily, and it's not a hard domain or place to interrupt or learn. Like it's supposed to be super accessible. There are so many people talking about code, computers, everything online. So why is it such a gate kept industry?
Yeah.
They make computer science majors, even back when I was graduating, they make you feel lucky to get interviews. Like they won't tell you what business you're interviewing for. They're just like, oh yeah, here's your coding interview. I saw you apply for this job. Here you go. Or they think that $60,000 is gonna fly in Cali,
Yeah.
and that's not. Even with benefits, like the base should be higher. And they don't give they don't give enough credit to the people who are out here busting their butts
Yeah.
and getting their degrees.
Yeah.
I think it's really top heavy right now in the tech industry. There's a lot of marketing on top, and they
Yeah.
don't really understand a lot of the projects that they're working on, and that kind of puts like CS majors or coders at a disadvantage because they'll understand the project in and out, but they can't even get a word in when it comes to the sprint
Mm-hmm.
because the marketing wants this task done and they want it next week, even though something like that would take months.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a you have to defend yourself heavily. You have to be a very firm, and you have to be very well spoken to be a I feel like if you want to be a successful computer
Yeah.
scientist, because you can't just code, you have to play the game too. You
Yeah.
do. So yeah, it's like a weird place where I'm hoping entry level coders get more power in the future, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that kind of put me out of it when I moved out to Cali because I was working, you're working the ladder. You're
Yeah.
going up, you're working with all of these companies. I worked as a consultant. So I was working with different companies. I did research. I published papers. I was, just doing my thing.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, I'm not going to be able to get to do what I want to do. Like
Yeah.
I'm a VR, AR enthusiast. I love
Mm-hmm.
virtual mixed reality. Like that's if I'm focusing on the software side of things, like that's so cool because we're all creatives ultimately. Well, I feel like everybody has a creative outlet.
Yeah.
So that's what I really wanted to do. And I'm
Yeah.
still like working towards that. But whew, when you go into CS, or if you go in any tech industry, you kind of have to bite the bullet just a little
Yeah.
bit. You're gonna have to do some things that you don't want to do. Yeah, excuse me. You got me going deep.
Oh my God. I love it though. But you know what? I have got to say, hearing you speak about this and your experience and sharing the fact that sometimes things do feel gate kept and things like that, I think it's super amazing, important, and inspiring to have someone like you not only talk about these things, do what you do, because it paves the way for people who might think, okay, I don't like, I'm a woman, like, how am I going to deal with these obstacles? Or I don't, like, I don't know where to start. How, but seeing somebody like you is inspiring to others. So thank you for what you do.
Oh, I'm around, Don't mind me. Don't thank y'all for listening, seriously, because there's truly like some talented individuals out there, and I just want the best for them. Like everybody should have a chance to, because really CS, it only makes what you do better. It's
Yeah.
one of those few majors where, like, if I were a mechanic, right? I go and I get a trade, then I'm good at being a mechanic.
Yeah.
But if you're good at code, like if you're anywhere on, even you don't have to be online. If you're like on a system, that can only enhance what you do. Can only make what you do better, because then that leads to you building your own websites. That leads to you automating things on your end when it comes to, like, let's say you wanted to go and my husband just made a whole he just made his own subtitler. So like whenever I get my clips and I don't feel like transcribing things, it just does it for us. And yeah, you can get stuff like that online, but we do it for free because we can make it. So it's just like boom. Like even Excel is coding.
Yeah.
Like you get on Excel, that is code. There are so many wild things you can do in Excel. If you can write a command or you can write a script, that's code. So yeah, there's like different levels to it, and however far you want to go, you just push it. Yeah, it's nuts.
I love that. I can code. Wow.
Yeah,
I can
you
learn.
probably have. On MySpace, you definitely did.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Like,
yes. Oh, yes. Let's talk about it, right?
yeah, yeah. You got to
Oh
get the
my
music
God.
down right, and you got to get the
Yeah.
right shade.
You
Like,
know,
it was
have my custom
right.
art background, all of that, all of that.
Exactly.
But speaking of really
Exactly.
cool builds that you've done, here's a photo of, well, sorry. Spoilers for later. Here's a photo
Oh my God. Oh
of
yeah.
one of
Oh
your
yeah.
custom builds. I love this.
Thank
Like, this is
you.
one of the coolest things I've ever seen, the Resident Evil build. It's sick. Tell us a little bit about this. How long did it take you, and how did you get
For
the
sure.
all the
Oh
stuff? It
my
looks cool.
gosh. Yeah. I can't wait to do another. That was my first custom. So I think there are things I like to keep to myself. Like I love coding, but I don't outwardly code like I used to because I do it for me now. And it's fun to keep it that way. I like them to see the results. So with a custom build, I had built computers for years at this point, but I had never done my own custom design. So this took some days because
Yeah.
I kept going back to the drawing board. I was like, does this make sense? Is the size right? We had to 3D print several models. We had to print El Gigante. We had to print Leon, and of course Ashley, and paint them. And then we printed the weapons cache and had all the weapons painted and stuff. And we were sawing into the case, which isn't as difficult as you think. You just
Yeah.
got to be careful.
Yeah.
It is more tedious trying to like get the damage. Like I think I'm gonna go back to that one and put some more scratches in it because I was
Yeah.
kind of nervous at first with the painting, and I was like, am
Yeah.
I gonna get the right look? But yeah, it was a good learning experience because I didn't use any expensive parts on that one. I'm staring at it right now. I usually you'd see people do like a water loop, custom LED. For me, I was like, let's just keep the parts simple and let's focus on how many accents that we can do. So having El Gigante on the GPU facing down, Leon and Ashley, loved it. I think I want to do. It'd be so cool to do like a cart situation next time, but or them like being held in the cart. That'd be nuts. See, like it's always something that you can redo with art, but that took a while. I'd say like a total like 3 weeks of planning and building because once
Mm-hmm.
you plan it, you just get it put together. The prints took 3 days because I had to do several prints and some of them messed up. and it's
Yeah.
a resin printer. So it's doing layer by layer. So
Oh.
you can do resin prints, but if it takes the full height of
Yeah.
that bed, then it's going to take like a full print time because it has to do layer by layer and it's building it up, and hopefully gravity doesn't pull your build down because then it messes the whole print up. And yeah, you 3D printer peeps know what I'm talking about. It's a mixed bag with resin or filament.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my first one. It did I used a Red Devil, I got to pull up the PC part picker list. It's an Intel build. It has a Red Devil GPU from back in like 2017, but the red and black theme was so sick on the inside. And it's got, I'm staring at it right now. So if you're wondering why I'm looking back,
Yeah. 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 No,
yeah.
it's
And then,
awesome. Yeah.
yeah. And then that vinyl on the back, first time doing a vinyl on anything because there's so many different ways you can put a print on the back of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would go back and do like a full one. There's like dips that you can do where you can dip parts in there and
Oh.
it'll stay like it's
Yeah.
stuck.
Yeah.
And I want to try something like that next time, but you got to have like a giant vat, like a giant barrel of of like reagent, and you
Yeah.
have to print. The print is literally liquid,
Yeah. Yeah.
if that
Yeah.
makes sense. It's like a
Yeah.
lick, and you have to.
And you
It's
dip it.
nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nuts. I've never done anything like that before, but that's the type of stuff that I'm trying to learn so I can elevate those types of builds. Did you see a gaming computer? Like you want it to look like the game, like it would be sick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's definitely like, a piece, like a showcase piece,
Yes,
So
exactly. Yeah,
that's cool.
that's the dream, to go in, pick my favorite games, and make a feel like if you've seen the Callisto Protocol, they actually sent out some custom PCs
Yeah.
to some of the creators, and I was lucky enough to get one, and they did an amazing job. An amazing job. The outside was perfect. They had their branding on it. I think the only thing I want to add is some LEDs on the inside and
Yeah.
some necromorphs, even though they're not necromorphs, but still I like calling them that because it just gives me Dead Space vibes. But yeah, some of the enemies and just putting more of that like gutsy stuff inside of it,
Yeah.
taking it to the next level.
I love that. Oh my God. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. It was really cool learning about that because I saw that on your Instagram. I was like, oh my God, that is so cool. So thank you so much for sharing a bit
For
about that and
sure.
building PCs. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit because another cool thing that you do is cosplay. I
Yes. Oh my
love this.
god.
Oh my God. And I have a picture of some cosplay that you have done. Tell us a little bit about it. It's like so cool to see like
Oh
some of the
my
things you've done.
lord. Yes, yes, yes. So I used to do way more of my own like personal custom cosplay before I started streaming because it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort. I'm sure there are some cosplayers in here who know. So this one was so much fun because it was my first time getting a commission. I've never commissioned anyone
Oh,
before,
yeah.
and I knew I wanted to treat this one right because I did not have the time to put the detail in this. But Jessica Hareen, mwah, wonderful cosplayer, and she actually has historical ties to Angerboda
Hmm.
in this story. So this Nordic dress, this Nordic garb, she knew like before we got. So let me give you like a story, like a really quick. Before Angerboda came out, we had used reference images from what they had given us. We only saw her top half.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, what is she wearing? Is she wearing pants, the skirt? Like, what's going on the bottom half of this picture? So we sent her the picture. She said, oh, yeah, this would be a dress. I was like, huh, would it? Would it? Because we got some other info and they told us that she's wearing pants. She was like, okay, I mean, I can make it. I mean, but this would probably, we'll just have to wait until the full image comes out. But yeah, this would normally be a dress. And when the picture came out, she was literally wearing like a torn dress. And I was
Okay.
like, wow. So this is you. This is really you right now. Like, this inside and out. And she spent several weeks traveling and gathering materials from where you'd find this stuff. Like, it was
Wow.
wild. Like, she did a journey where she went and she got the fabrics, the faux leather, all of it, and she put it together. She painted it. It was nuts. And she checked in with me like every few weeks. She streamed some of it. She is amazing. And wow, she made my first commission just amazing. Now, we did research the heck out of everywhere, but
Right.
it was like finding gold. She killed it for me. But now the hair, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hair I had to sit up. I hadn't done like locks or anything in a while, so
Yeah.
that took about 4 hours of us just sitting up, braiding my hair, putting in locks, warm for some months, and putting up the hair pieces too. It was like really going through Anger Boda's day of like, let me get dressed,
Yeah.
let me put on some clothes, let me do this. Yeah, yeah, it was, and we did a oh man, I wish I had it. We got a book printed. Let me see if I can. Mango, Mango, can you get the book? We got a book printed, and if
Yeah.
I can get Mango to grab it in a bit, we'll show y'all some of the photo shoot pictures that we took. But we went out to I think the book's on the console by the Anger Boda photo shoot book. Yeah, I want to show them some. In the middle, right there, where we keep our bottles. Thank you. I hope he finds it. We'll see. But yeah, we took some photos of my first like official photo shoot. But I
Yeah.
really love this character because she's supposed to be like the mother of monsters in the game, but we're seeing like the prequel to that.
Hmm.
And she's not even really the mother of monsters. Like she's really like a rescue angel. Like she rescues animals in the game.
Yeah.
And I like that it flips it. It makes her more gentle,
Yeah.
and we don't get a lot of that themes for black women, especially like
Yeah.
gentle black women who
Yeah.
still can defend themselves. But she was my favorite by far. So
That's
yeah, like we did the
awesome.
whole book. We got like a whole book of
What?
stuff. Yeah, so we went
Yo!
out there. Here, let me see if I can find a close up.
That's
Let me see if I can
sick.
get a good one. It was a lot of fun going out and just doing wild stuff in nature.
What? Yo, I love this. And I love like the look of the book itself too. That's so
Right.
cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, we had to go in. Oh yeah, this is my silly one. I love this one. We just
Oh.
find Thor's hammer just hanging out.
Oh, and you can
It's
just pick
great.
it up like it's
I'm
nothing.
like, I mean,
Right.
of course I'm worthy. But yeah, like it was like I love cosplay. I really
Yeah.
do. And there's so many different ways to cosplay, right? Like you can do mixed commission and you can do some
Yeah.
yourself or you do the whole thing yourself, and there's
Yeah.
definitely a pride in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to put it in someone's hands who's related to that like genre, that realm, that culture, that history,
Mhm.
and just see what they do with it, and it somehow just fits on you. It's nuts.
Mhm.
And we got to share it with Laya, which
Yeah.
was even cooler. Like
Yeah.
getting to meet the voice actress for
Yeah.
Anger Boda and getting to wear it for her and get her to sign our stuff. Like wow, absolutely nuts. My favorite game, my favorite character for life. Like, mwah.
I love
Hmm.
that. What an incredible story. I love that. Oh my gosh. So do you ever like okay, well, if somebody wanted to get into cosplay that's never like made their own costume before, like what do you think is like the first thing someone should do if they want to get into it?
Well, I was definitely there. I definitely was that. I'm still that person. Like it's a
Yeah.
ramp up. Like sometimes you don't do it for a while, and you have to start over.
Yeah.
It's like a skill. It depends on what kind of cosplay you want to be. It can be as easy as just commissioning and buy. Well, that's not easy. Commissioning is a little harder than just buying like a preset on Amazon. But
Yeah.
every cosplay is just as valid. So don't feel bad getting on Amazon and buying an outfit that is
Yeah.
cosplay. Like you
Yeah.
are being the character. I like all. The only thing I'd say is get into it.
Yeah.
Like that's the difference really between each outfit is you getting into character.
Mhm.
Believe it. Like you are that person. I remember when I loved League so much. I cosplayed as Nami my first few cosplays, and I love her so much. And while it was like super like like homemade, I will say, it still made me feel good to wear her, and I felt like someone else. So
Yeah.
that's the only requirement of cosplay is that you are that character. Just be them. As far as you're willing to go, like if you feel like it, then you've check marked cosplay. But if you're trying, it depends on what you're trying to do as well. Like if you want to make cosplay,
Yeah.
research. You gotta
Yeah.
read. I don't like reading, but you gotta read. Get on and learn from somebody. Watch
Yeah.
somebody who's made it before. Like it's only gotten bigger since we've grown up, right?
Yeah.
So there's even more resources, forums. I know I used to use a cosplay app. I can't quite remember the name, but like it would let you upload pictures of your cosplay, and you could like have there's another measuring tool for cosplay. So if you want to match it to your measurements, you can put up an image of a character you put your baseline height in there, and it'll be able to measure distances of each, like whether it's armor
Yeah.
or a dress or their weapons. It'll tell you like the sizes and relative to your height. And it's really cool. It's There's so many tools that you can use now. So yeah, just take your time, be patient, research all of the tools, practice, buy extra so you can make mistakes. If you want to sew, take some sewing classes.
Yeah.
It's good to know what kind of sewing techniques work best. And don't try to, it's okay to, not put a lining on some things, I guess, but
Yeah.
try to line your work, complete it. Try to treat it like clothes. Like you're going to wear it again and again and again. Make it comfortable for you. But yeah, that's like my starter advice for sure.
Make it comfortable. Look, I'm writing
Knife
all of
gun.
this
There we go.
down. I hope you know
Yeah.
I'm writing all this down. Make it comfortable. Because that's like a small thing that I feel like gets overlooked. Like people just want it to look as accurate as possible. But comfort, yeah, that's a really, especially if you're at a con and you're wearing something all weekend. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Exactly.
you
Yes.
know.
You can get as comfortable as you can, because some of those cosplays are just not gonna be comfortable. Like
Yeah.
a full suit of armor in Atlanta in the summer is just
Tell me about it. For
if,
Dragon Con or something like that. Yup, exactly. Speaking of Dragon Con, I actually do have another picture of a cosplay you did
oh
for,
yes.
yeah,
Oh
that one's
god.
really awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. I love body paint.
Yeah.
Body paint, I feel like that's like the epitome of being someone else, right? Like the Gamoras and the Pinkies and Starfires, like all of those characters where you can do an even body paint. It's just so exciting. And then that's what got me, because at first when I first did Pinky, I had no makeup skills
Yeah.
whatsoever. I could do an even paint, but it would just make me look flat. And once I started learning, like, oh yeah, like eyeshadow, duh, and like lashes, yeah, mascara. Like I was like, yeah, they have dimension, and so get into makeup. No matter who you are, I don't care. Everybody needs to do makeup, because contouring, highlights, like putting like battle scars, it's all makeup skills, and it's just a skill. And it makes your cosplay just look so much better. Like I think I did something really bloody one time. I know I did. Maybe I took that one offline, but it's really cool, like going and mashing up tissue and
Mm-hmm.
making scars on your face, looking like
Mm-hmm.
you just got like slashed in the side. Like it's fun. So yeah, this is Pinky from Boku no Hero. If y'all don't know her, she's one of the best heroes out there. Thank you very much. She's lit. Okay. She can throw slime. I think it's like acid slime actually. She needs more character development in the anime. But she had a really good arc. I really liked her. But yeah, she's my girl. I will cosplay her for life. I need to do her hero outfit sometime. But yeah,
Yeah.
body paint is my vice. So good. You will
Okay.
leave paint everywhere if you don't know how to like set your paint though. So like make sure
Mm-hmm.
you do that right. I'm
Yeah.
still learning.
Like go give somebody a high five, like,
Ooh, right.
oops.
Sorry. Don't touch me.
That's good advice. I will make sure to write that one down too.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
want to also say, because like I said, I was watching your channel earlier today, which was such a great vibe. Everyone chat, please follow Chelsea if you don't already. Like seriously, I had such
You're
a
so
great
sweet.
time lurking in that chat. Y'all were talking about some really cool things. And you know what I love too? Just that y'all are always dancing, You're always dancing, having fun,
Right.
you
Right,
know?
right, right, right,
If you
right.
could have like a IRL dance party in either a real life place or like a video game universe, where would you have it?
Oh, for me it's Dance Central. That's the vibes. Like straight up. Dance Central was perfect. Like you got the crowd. Like what? Remember when you were in like middle school and they had the school dances and everybody made the circles and it was
Yes.
vibes? Like that's
Yes.
perfect. I mean, if everybody could just hop in and dance and we were all just chilling, eating, drinking, having a good time, that's it. That's where I'm having my IRL dance party. They always look like they were having such a great time too. And they were in the cool, like they were up on rooftops and stuff. And I'm like, well, how did y'all get here? I'm
Yeah.
like, who let you in? Yeah, that's my dream setup.
I love
Straight up.
that. I love it. So, you know what? I want to ask you too, because this is really important for content creators, I think, to think about and hear. But tell us about your approach to building community and tell us about I love the name for your
Yes.
community, the Bite Command. I love
Mm-hmm.
that.
Oh, I'm a ridiculous mess. Chelsea Bites. Uh, it took a minute to form, and I definitely got help with that because I wanted to be food based at first. I was like jelly beans, chip, yeah, blah blah blah. Like I had a whole bunch of ideas for what I thought worked as a brand, but none of that spoke to actually what I do. And I
Mhm.
love I hey, a lot of stuff comes second to food for me. Like I love food so much, and that's a big part of me. But what's marketable is very important. Now, when it comes to building community, it helps when people hear it in your name, like, oh, that's Chelsea Bites. Like she's known for anything tech or some form of tech, or whether they're like, oh, I guess she bites a lot. Like even if they understand that, like it's something that sticks in your head. And when it came to community, ultimately, since we're numbers people over here, especially me sitting back and like looking and seeing like what's going to work on
Mhm.
Twitch, because
Mhm.
that's changed over the
Mhm.
past few years. Ultimately, it's always going to come down to where the eyeballs, where people and just chatting just consistently every time is always going to have people for everyone, for everything that you're doing. So it was really easy for me to sit in just chatting and just chat, or when it was IRL. Yeah, when it used to be IRL.
Yep.
And we used to just talk. And it was easy for me to hold a conversation. We talked for like 4 hours at a time. Back in the old days when I was streaming, when I first started, it would just be just chatting streams. I
Yeah.
didn't start gaming. And I think that really helped me because people really weren't like looking for me to game. They were looking to hear what I had to say,
Mhm.
or to entertain them while they were at work, or they were moving around, or they just had nothing to do. And we would start a conversation. And I don't know, I won't say a lot of people don't know the value in that. I think some people are catching on. Like
Mhm.
some people are still learning that. So
Mhm.
a lot of y'all know how to build communities. Y'all know. Y'all understand. You sit on, you address viewers as they come in, and you build that relationship. And I don't do anything super different from anyone else other than maybe our events. We used to run some pretty nuts events
Yeah.
where we would just do our own wacky design or event for the week. So every Friday we'd be doing a we go out stream or a
Yeah.
nightmare stream. Nothing that reinvented the wheel, but was still entertaining and flavored as us. And the bite command, I think ultimately I just wanted a place where the bites take control, code breakers take control. Ultimately, my code breakers break my computer every stream
Yeah.
somehow, some way, shape, or form, whether they're supporting, using sound commands, VFX, whether, like when we're dancing on screen, they are out here trying to destroy my setup or me, and they do it every time. So it's how I visualize it, and I still love them for it anyway, even when they
Mhm.
break all my stuff.
Mhm.
I still love them anyway for it, and that's the community that I want to build. It feels real to me when you're at odds with somebody. Because
I
not
agree.
everybody's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It feels
Yeah.
like there's some push and pull on your Twitch community where they kind of want to they want to drag you sometimes. So
Yep.
that feels real to me. It's me versus them, but
Yeah.
we still have each other. Yeah.
You know, you talked about two things that I want to touch on. So you talked about your love of food, and you talked about what works on Twitch. I know those are two very different things,
I know.
but
Good at
I
that.
found a very interesting clip that
Mm,
kind
I
of
think I know what you're
combines
talking about.
what you're talking
Yeah.
about. So could you tell us a little bit about this image
Mm.
here?
Oh God. Yeah, let's talk about that. So this was man, I even look different. This is back in like 2019. I was still at my part-time job, I think. I don't remember the exact date on this. Yeah, no, I was still at my part-time job and we were doing consistent we go out streams. Some
Yeah.
events you can't run by yourself. It's just not going to happen. It's not
Right.
going to I can't be I, with we go out streams, we make a menu.
Yeah.
And we did this was the canned food menu. So
Yep.
we had canned spam, we had peas, we had beans, we had a lot that day. We did a seafood, a crawfish one time.
Oh.
We also did a we did a drive through. We did a McMangoes. That one was insane. We went to McMango's and we got a lot of McMango fast food, and it
Yeah.
was that one actually pushed my limits a little. We got in our little red Ferrari. We drove to the drive-thru.
Yeah.
But this one, I thought Mango knew what spam was, and I thought he was gonna fry it because it
Okay.
does come out cooked. But
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna slice it up and fry it at least. And no, he just took it, put it on two buns, and just laid it out. And I'm just looking like,
How you supposed to bite into that?
yeah, you don't do that. Don't eat out the can spam. That's all I gotta say. Don't eat out the can spam.
That
All
is a
right,
lesson
y'all.
for life. Don't eat out the
He
canned
was.
spit.
Yeah, he was wrong. Yeah, that's Chez Mangoes. Yeah, that's what that is. Oh man. And there's so many it, there's just so much ebb and flow in an event like that, but we don't see wild stuff like this. And that's what we wanted to bring, that chaotic, dumb energy with food. And it's endless. It's endless. And that's kind of spawned off some other stuff. Like oh my God, my gourmet streams where I'll actually cook. Like I'll go and I'll cook in my kitchen. It's
Yeah.
different from Mango just bringing me food and I have no idea what the concoction is. It's them setting a menu
Yeah.
and my pets get to taste test. Like that is just a more lax version of something like that. So we kind of reiterate and just say, what do we want to do? Like
Yeah.
what's fun? And
Yeah.
I like sneaking snacks to my pets. So whenever I let them do a taste test, that makes me happy. I'm like, okay, God, somebody gets to eat tonight.
Mm. I love
What
that you
is this?
brought up. I love that you brought up your pets. I mean, Bobby, my cat, is often on my show. She's right there right now. You can see the
Hey,
toe
Bobby,
beans.
look at
Um,
them.
actually, that's a really good point. I have another thing I want to show you that I'd like to ask you about. What's going on with the kitty cat here?
Mm, mm, mm. So yeah, there's another aspect to there's another aspect to I guess Chelsea Bites. Let's not put this on the bite command. So Chelsea Bites is very much in a is married, and I think the value that Chelsea Bites brings is it shows what it's like being in a relationship. Everybody's relationships look different, and me and Mango, we've been together for, oh my God, we just celebrated our 5th anniversary
Mhm.
of marriage, literally this month, and we've been together for 10.
Yeah.
And just the things he does, it just amazes me, the things that he does. He brought me my cat. This is Shrody.
Okay.
And she just had peanut butter on her face. And I was like, how did this happen? And it's like, there was just no explanation. I got nothing. He just brought me the cat with peanut butter on her face. And I'm like, why? And he's like, ugh. I'm like, well, you need to go clean this up off her face then, since you want to act like you don't know what's going on. You better get my cat right. Like it's like the breakdown. Just
Yeah.
there's there are stories that we could tell. I think the one that resonates the most with my stream, early on streaming, we shared a car, and because we were both going in for work. This was before work from home. This was all we were meeting each other up for lunch and all that. Like it was a very different environment. And I don't know what goes through his head sometimes, but he left the car.
Yeah.
And I think he thought I had the car, even though I had seen him that day,
Yeah.
gave him the keys, and he dropped me off.
Okay.
So he comes home while I'm streaming, and he's knocking on the door, and I'm confused because I'm like, he has the key. Why is anybody knock? I didn't even know it was him, because I was like, why
Yeah.
would he knock on the door?
Right.
So I say, wait, I get up, I go look, and it's him. I'm like, what are you doing? You have the key. He's like, no, I don't. I'm like, yeah, you do. You have the car, right? And he goes, oh. After he pulls the keys out of his pocket, I forgot. So he had Ubered home. So now when he Ubered back, it was the same Uber guy that dropped him off. Except now I'm with him, and we're going to go get the car. And like, I have to end stream. I have to stop it. I'm like, y'all, he left the car. And then this doesn't happen just once. It happens again later. It happened
How?
twice. and it's like, it's just a testament. It's just a test that I still don't know how. It's just a testament to how different relationships can be. You know, we really complement each other, right? Like, he
Yeah.
really has the numbers down. He likes to read. I don't.
Okay. Okay.
He is a wonderful, like, he is a paper pusher. Like, that man can do docs like no one's business. He's really smart. He is a genius, and I am over here trying to just live up to his excellence every day.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just some places where he do fall a little short. Where I'm like, now, what did common sense say? what where's the street smarts again? Like, it's oh, is it? I mean, it was all live, Mango. I'm just saying, like, it's in the clips. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, it's the ebb and flow of a relationship. So we really put it all out there in the bite command. It's not just tech. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
everything that makes you a whole
Yeah.
rounded person, like you dealing with people or
Yeah.
interacting, and what that looks like, because boy, Mago will throw every curveball at me. Every curveball. It's nuts, but I wouldn't have any other way because
Yeah.
he's my best friend. He is amazing, and it's never a dull moment. Never.
That's so beautiful. I love the holistic approach. I love, how y'all support each other. I love, the stories. It just feels so real. I think that that's one of the most important things about being a creator on Twitch is connecting with people on a human level. And that was the
Hmm.
thing that resonated the most with the story you just told. It's like it all feels so human and real, and you're connecting with a real person and just sharing the
Hmm.
oddities of a day, what odd
You're
things might
right.
happen.
Yeah, no, I don't. I highly recommend, like, I push people to stream as consistently as much as they can. I definitely have not been able to, or have not for the past few weeks. But there's always like a limit, because I share what I can about how I'm feeling about a certain thing at the moment. I don't overshare on my personal life,
Of course.
but I know I go into some streams where I'm not like happy joy like all the time. Like, I'll be candid, like, yeah, y'all, man, ugh, what a day. It's been kind of nuts. Like, I'm tired, or X, Y, and Z. Like, man, is some stuff that's got to change on this side, and
Mhm.
it being real. I think it's okay to not get on every stream and just always have to be. You don't have to be entertaining. You have to be engaging, if that makes
Mm.
sense. You
Okay,
don't have
okay,
to. You don't have to perform.
okay.
I think people think they have to put on a show all the time. But
Mhm.
if you're trying to stream like every weekday, or even for some people every day, because some people do that, you can't keep that up. You
Yeah.
can't. You can't
Yeah.
keep that up. It's tiring. Like, yeah, I want to be entertaining sometimes. If there's a segment on my stream that I want to make jokes, then I'm going to do that. But
Yeah.
also, like, if I want to start the stream off and be like, "Hey y'all, yeah, man. Oh, Mango sick. I'm tired, bro. Like, I don't know what I'm about to do for the rest of this week. I just need to chill out." I'm
Yeah.
gonna say that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get on a stream just depressed though. Like, I'm
Right.
definitely gonna, yeah. We have your boundaries. Don't ever push yourself, but don't also push yourself in the direction where you gotta smile and wave at every viewer. You don't. You don't.
You,
So
you
that's the protecting yourself part. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. I,
Hmm.
I love that. I love that that's like such a, it, cuz for me, I'm always thinking about exactly what you just said, entertainment versus engaging. Like, what even constitutes being an entertaining broadcaster? Like, I'm thinking about that all the time. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that you
And it's
touched on that.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause I personally feel like entertainment, it's something that you've prepped, poised, or like you may not have written that part out, but you know this is going to happen at this time, and
Yeah.
it's supposed to be a show, or it's supposed to have a look and feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
But there are impromptu moments that you haven't prepped, where maybe you didn't have that in your plan, but it's still engaging. Like, nobody gets to choose when we have like a real conversation about something, unless it's been all in the news and everybody's heard about it, and then you just have to address it live. But there are spontaneous moments on stream where you're like, oh, I saw this, or somebody said it in the chat. Now I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, it wasn't meant for you to use as a performative piece, but it sparks a great conversation nonetheless.
Yeah.
and it brings people in.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I feel like entertainment comes with a plan, and engagement doesn't always. It's not
Yeah.
mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
love that. I love that. So, you know what? That makes me think of a question I had here. What practices do you think a creator should implement to improve their craft a little bit every day? Just like one small thing that you can kind of do every day.
Yes. Watch your streams, please.
Oh my God,
Watch your
yes.
streams. Watch
Oh
your
my
stream.
God.
Like,
Chelsea,
and
I
if
will
there's
tell
something,
you,
yeah.
look, seriously, after every stream, I watch my stream every time.
Yes. And I get it. I don't like doing it because I'm very much the person like I did that. It's done. I was there. But try to skim through it at
Hmm.
least. I there's You're not gonna be able to watch 4 hours. Depending on because some people stream like 8. I don't do that yet. I want to get up to 8 hours, but I can't watch 8 hours of my content. But they already put it in chapters. So go through each chapter of your stream. Like for your just chatting segment, was there a sound that sounded weird? Do you sound weird? Was something going on in your background? When you transitioned, what did that look like? What did the game levels sound like? If your audio's inconsistent, do some research. I'm still researching on my end to put some limiters up so no sounds exceed a certain level. So you're not breaking every. I break my streams, ears. I'm so sorry to y'all. I will be better, but yeah, like pay attention to what is going on and own your craft. Now, if you run really long streams, I think it's worth it to write your streams out
Hmm.
because you want to know what you're doing. I like know what I'm doing now. I used to just hop into streams. I wouldn't even have an intro like to my stream. It would just be like, "Cameras on, I'm here. Hey, I'm talking." Just waiting for someone to come in. And I'd just be sitting there. I would be working on something, but I'd just be sitting there waiting for the first person to walk in, and then we just start a conversation.
Hmm.
And that's not always great because you need to already be having a conversation. Like you need to
Hmm.
already be doing something when the camera goes live, no matter what that is. So depending on where you're starting or where you're at in your streaming career, that can be easier or harder to do. So know what you're doing when you hop into the room. Know what each part of your stream is for. I would say if you're looking for sponsorships or campaigns or just something to do, it's good to segment your stream into something special. Like I haven't done couch talk in a minute, but I've got another camera over here where we do couch talk.
Yeah.
And I'll turn it so we sit on the couch and we have like a real discussion or talk about something stupid. Like we used to do fictional like tea. I
Yeah.
remember we talked about like some of the most relatable villains
Yeah.
and or like who was really in the wrong here, and it would be over like people who don't exist because it's fun to be messy, but I don't like to be messy about real things
Right, right,
unless
right.
it's like clear cut. Like if it's clear cut dry, like we need to talk about this is important to me and we'll have the discussion, then I'll bring that to the couch too. But usually it's about something vapid, superficial,
Yeah.
and everybody leaves happy, and it's we're laughing. It's a
Yeah.
joke. So yeah, like make different segments for your stream, switch up what you're doing, and make it consistent so people expect it. And they're like, oh yeah, when she gets here, we're gonna do this. This is gonna be great. And then it
Hmm.
makes it easy to put sponsors into it because they're like, oh yeah, for that thing that you they might not want to buy out your whole stream, or maybe they don't want this whole part of your stream to be dedicated to this. But they'll be like, oh yeah, you do this thing on your stream. That's really cool. Could we think this would work here? And it makes it easier for sponsors to come in and take over. And you
Oh,
have slots. Like
yeah.
you can it's like a show. Like you
Yeah.
literally do that on shows too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great. It's great. Think of your stream like a show and write it out. I think that's a great thing that people should start doing.
I so love that golden nugget of information you just shared. That is like, oh my God, so great. Because I literally think about those things that you talked about all the time, like creating it as a show. And I always like tell people like one advice I have is like, if you like a particular show, let's say you like Game of Thrones, and every time you stream, like that's the kind of vibe your show has. But then one day Game of Thrones turns into Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, people are going to be confused. They're going to be like, well, what's
Mm-hmm.
going on? What's the concept
A lot of
here?
changes. A lot of
Yeah.
changes.
So,
Exactly.
yeah, I tell people like you got to like be consistent, or at least kind of like if you're going to do something that's out of the norm, like you've got to be transparent. So
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh,
love that.
talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, say it a million times because people don't catch it. Not everybody's listening. You're gonna have to repeat it for like a week.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
gonna every other day at least for a
Yeah.
week for
Yeah.
people to for the majority of your people to get it because you don't know when they're checking in.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
True.
when you make changes, like I'm actually afraid I'm trying to change my sub sound. Oh, I know when I flip it, people are gonna be like, "What did you do?" I'm gonna be like, "I've been telling y'all. I've been telling y'all for
That's
like
the little
2 weeks."
song that you sing, right? That's a little like
Yeah,
it's like a little rap you
yeah.
do. I was vibing to that. I
I
like
love
this.
it. I gotta give it some breathing room. It takes up
Yeah.
too much time. I mean,
Yeah.
that's been here for 5 years now, and
Mm,
as you like realize what tech and that's me always obsessing over what technically works or like what is optimal. Um, it's nice to have quick, snappy alerts, and then that's like a big celebration alert.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
want to save that for the big stuff. Like, yeah, we did
Maybe
it.
like a
We hit
gift
this.
bomb or something.
Exactly,
Yeah.
something like that. And
Yeah.
just finding cuz I know I used to get hit with those back to back and you it takes you out of the gameplay because
Hmm.
that song is like at least 10 seconds. So I
Right.
have to pause the game where 10 seconds are rapping and then another one comes in and then 30 seconds, a minute has flown by because I'm thanking them. The alert plays out and it might become not a great experience if we're playing a new game or
Right.
we're in a cutscene or
Right.
you got to think about stuff like that. So yeah, I love it. I'm gonna keep it. I just gotta put it somewhere else. Just gotta put it somewhere else.
You know, it's really fun to me. Well, it's insightful to be able to kind of talk shop with another broadcaster about things like this. And I feel like these are the kinds of things that like people talk about like the tech, the computer setup, the lighting, like all that kind of stuff. But these little like
Yes.
things that happen when you're actually live and with the actual experiences, I think we need to talk more about those things. So that was really cool to
Yes.
be able to hear what your experience is like. Cause yeah, like I've been on shows where they might have like a channel point redemption or have an alert and then it monopolizes everything that's going
Mm-hmm.
on the screen. And then you're like,
Yes.
what's that experience like?
Excuse me. Yeah. No, it's so with that, I want every I've always wanted my stream to be like a toy. Eventually I'll get there. I am not a designer. I am not an animator. I am not a voice actor. I am not that is stuff that I have to like really think outside of myself when it comes to what's enjoying for a viewer. So back then I did think that was fun, like taking over the stream and having your moment and really paying it to the because subs were like wow, like that was like my first sub. So I'm like, yeah, they deserve this. But as you grow as a streamer, you have to think of everyone now. Like y'all are growing together. So it's not just you and them, it's you and everybody else. And now alerts do need to be shorter. Things need to be tighter. You do have to put some more bells and whistles in there. And you need to consult other people about how your stream looks.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can see it through your eyes, but how does it look to other people? Take advice and go and talk to some people who actually design stream alerts or streams. Uh, Talk to some illustrators, animators, and however custom you're trying to get. But you don't, I'll say you don't necessarily need all that. That's if
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to hit that theme that that you're so desperately looking for. I think some people who really want to get as creative as possible, or they just want to, there's something that they can't find on like the overlays on stream elements, right? Then dive into that journey where you research and consult and talk. But really, it can be just as simple as downloading some overlays or getting a pack from Fiverr
Yeah.
and just making it your own, flavoring it a little bit, and it can
Yeah.
be that easy because you
Yeah.
don't really need it. You don't really need it. It can be fun. I mean, you'll see like the Sensei CJs where the alerts are over the top and exciting, or like Kiwis are very themed to, you know, being like embraced by a Kiwi, where it's very
Yeah.
tropical, very
Yeah.
fun. And even with Cup of Noodle, when she unveiled like her new branding for her intro, that was exciting. I loved like how personal it can be, and it can take your stuff over the top.
Yeah.
But don't ever think that it's a necessity to run a successful stream, because some
Yeah.
people will come when it's just bare camera. Like the people at the top who are very much, they are very much getting, you know, a viewership. Uh, they come in with bare cams. Transitions aren't flashy. They're smooth. They put camera and gameplay. and they're doing just fine. So if it's
Mhm.
good enough for them, then it's good enough for you. And I mean that as like things that work for them, they will work for you. Not
Yeah.
like, they're like your role models or anything. But
Yeah.
yeah, like you don't have to push yourself. But it can be fun. If you want to dive into that, you want to really put on a show.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth looking into.
Well, that is that I hope y'all are taking notes because that was some really great insight there. And speaking of putting on a show, you also host the Crown channel. Can you tell us a bit
Yes.
about that? That is so cool.
No, for sure. Hey, oh, I gotta show my love. Hey, Steve, it's good to see you. I gotta show all the love to Steve.
Yes,
Can't
there's so
lie.
many great people. I saw Steve. I saw Data
Domo
Dave
was
in
in
there. I
here.
saw
Yeah, was Dave in
Domo.
here? I
Yeah,
miss
I saw
Data. Hold up,
Data Dave. I saw lots of people in there. Yeah, thank you everyone for being here. Thanks
Dave.
everyone chat. I know I haven't been saying hi to chat, but thank
No,
y'all
no, you're
everyone.
good. No, Dave was a godsend, or still is always a godsend because we both live in that same domain of CS. But Dave took it a like a step further, and is a whole teacher. Like, oh my God, come
I
on,
know,
professor,
so
right?
cool. Yeah.
Right, and he gave me a lot of advice when it came to working on my setup as well and
Yeah.
streaming and whatnot. So I really ask people for help. Like, ask, like, they are wonderful. And be comfortable with answering questions too. You don't have to insert yourself, but like, you know talk, network, collaborate. If you think you can offer some advice if someone's asking, hop on that Twitter thread, say something. They don't know you know until you say
Mhm.
like.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
yeah, I really appreciate the people I've been able to talk to over the years and just admire and model myself off of. Y'all are seriously amazing. You can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
But for Crown, very much a wild turn of events. It was I had done a little bit of hosting before, like I said, with Comcast on our side channel.
Yeah.
But Crown was very much a whole new avenue. We applied for it. COVID hit, whole world changed. Where I was like, wow, I don't have a job anymore, and I don't know what I'm doing. Well,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna stream. Like, I think I need to be looking for a new job. But that wasn't the case. Like, it turned into a job.
Yeah.
They hit us up a while later. They were like, well, we wanted to fly you out to LA, but we can't because COVID restrictions.
Right.
And COVID in LA was wild. First year, they were, whoo, like they were strict.
Yeah.
they were they were very strict. So they changed it online, which was awesome because I could actually do my job from home
Yeah.
and still get to do all that other stuff. I don't think I'd have been able to stream because I did not have a to-go box set up. I was just on my two PC setup at that point, and that's all I had.
Yeah.
So it let me stay home. I actually got some credits on IMDb for that show. It was on Prime Video. That was nuts. Like, for our
Yeah.
first hosting gig, and I wasn't even a host really. I was a competitor in their show, and then after that, that led to more hosting events.
Yeah.
So now we work on Fight Night, which has been going for, when we're finished, it'll be the longest running show on Crown, 65
Nice.
episodes, for
What?
2 years. And we've had some of the biggest promotionals ever on Crown on our show.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of that show.
Yeah.
I love what Amazon's doing with Crown because it's original content
Mhm.
with creators on Twitch. And I want them to keep pushing that because you don't get those kind of avenues. Like, really, for big companies that reached out to streamers, it made sense that Amazon would be one of the first ones to do it because
Mhm.
they literally own Twitch. So when you see these production studios finally reaching out to online influencers and creators, I really feel that Amazon kind of led the way because not only they understand like the tech and all that, like they understand how to entertain and engage. It's not that much of a jump to go from behind your desk onto a set.
Mhm.
And that's speaking specifically to hosting and Crown. That was when Ultimate Crown was like one of my biggest productions at that moment.
Yeah.
Going to Las Vegas to the HyperX Arena and working with Mr. Beast and Ninja and Tyler One and Captain Flowers and like, I'd already loved League of Legends, but getting
Yeah.
to meet all of these people who were pillars in the League community, and they were just so chill. They were
Yeah.
so chill. Like, just regular people, of course, but it's like nice to see it in person. And they brought me in, and we all just got to have a good time. And I fit in where I could fit in, and I got to be basically just the personality for chat. Whereas
Yeah.
we had our casters, we had our commentators, and then of course we had our players, and Mr. Beast out here putting up money for charity. Like, it was nuts. It was absolutely nuts. Got to go and get stuff signed for my siblings. Like, wow. And that just keeps build. You use those opportunities to keep building to the next one.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool to look back and be like, oh yeah, we did that. Like, I like to think doing the Twitch Summer Gathering is just unique because every production set is so different. You
Mm-hmm.
have to come in and just seriously all hands on deck on any set that you're on, because you don't know what production's going to need. You don't know who you're dealing with until you meet
Right.
them. And you have to
Right.
get used to their style. So always be humble. Don't act like you know everything. I haven't met anybody that does that, but like, seriously, come in like you know nothing.
Yeah.
Seriously, except your lines, of course.
Right. Right.
and
Right.
and you know how to do your job, but like, go in and ask questions, be respectful, and be willing to listen,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll be fine. Like, it's great stuff. But yeah, every experience has made me better, showed me what I need to do better. Like, always addressing the camera,
Yeah. Yeah.
never cross.
Yeah.
Always use that shoulder that's closest to the person you're interviewing. Don't turn too much, and just be yourself. Be confident.
Okay. I love
Hmm.
that. That's like such helpful information. Man, I really love that because when we were testing out guest star and setting up, like Chelsea was sharing a bit what hosting live versus hosting like in
Mm,
person in a space versus like online hosting was like, and I thought that that conversation was so cool. So could you share a little bit about those differences and what they feel like?
absolutely, for sure. So the benefit of being online, and if you want to be a host for anything, right, like, you can host cosplay competitions, you can host like a makeup session where you're showing off products. Like, there's so many ways for you to present yourself as an online personality. I'll say the difference is how you do that, like,
Right.
technically. um, you're going to always be yourself. You're always going to have your speaking skills. You're always going to be able to deliver a line, address the camera. That's never going to change. The only difference that changes is when you're behind your desk, you understand what's going on your setup. Like, I know my prompter. I know like what audio outputs, inputs, whatever is happening over here, and that is a service that you're providing. Like, that is, if you even have a computer or you have lights, a camera, and a microphone, right? You provide a service because you're giving access to your space. You can capture content, and you can read and deliver an ad read, a line. You can engage with people. You can run a show. That's a studio space,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, it's a
Yep.
small one, but it's a studio space, and people pay for studio space.
Yeah.
So it is very valuable for you to be able to get on the internet and provide a studio space and a host
Yeah.
for people looking for that, like, people looking for that kind of content, your vibe. And I always try to say, try to be brand safe. I wouldn't go and I wouldn't put like with I love now, Ash, you can go one way or the other. I love your branding so much because people know, like, they know exactly what they're getting into, and it's so inviting, and it's so fun to see. And it's like, you tell a story with that. And also, like, with me, you also have to do green screen stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, that
Yeah.
was a large portion. So, like, having all of those options, they don't have to send you stuff.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I fill out a tech kit for a job, they're like, okay, what do you have? I'm like, well, I have a capture card. I got a green screen. I've got at least 10 lights. I've got
Yeah.
4 cameras. I've
Yeah.
got uh, 3 different options of mics if you need them. And we've done so much. Like, for Chasing the Crown, we had to do like a board game.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't even at my computer desk. Like, I had to turn my camera, and we had to do like a physical game in front of our in our rooms because we
Yeah.
couldn't go far, right?
Right.
So it's like you really just see where you can fit and what options you can give with your studio space. And that's a service, and you should market that, sell that. Now, in person, it's real different because you don't know what the setup is,
Right.
and it's already set in.
Right.
So, usually, if you're moving around, I'll say I haven't done like a sit down desk set yet. Like, I haven't sat, I've done podcasting, but I haven't done a live set at a desk yet. But I've been
Mhm.
moving on the floor. You got the camera chasing you, you've got lights, and you've got a mic in your ear and your lav. Like that to me is probably the most stressful type of hosting like you can do when it comes to, okay, you've got the camera on you and you need to move a certain way. Like we practice paths. We'll go and you can't always have a prompter on you. You got to memorize some of your lines. You got to
Yeah.
know what you're saying at certain times. Sometimes they'll just hand you a script and it's not even updated. Like it's not the most current script because what's happening on the set is not always what's happening in like the producer's box or in the control room. So you'll have to just basically be as adaptable as possible. You'll be on the fly. And this always depends on the show. Every set's different. So they'll have different words for different things. And you'll have to be reporting to certain people. You'll have somebody who might be with you the whole time. I know I had a floor runner for
Yeah.
two separate shows. They are lifesavers.
Yeah.
Be nice to your floor runners, and they will save your lives. They are wonderful people, and you'll have somebody there to help you do your job. But it can be so rewarding, especially when you're doing like interviews.
Yeah.
I love interviewing people.
Yeah.
It's just nice getting them comfortable because I
Yeah.
want them to know this is a conversation. The camera's not even there, bro. Like, who are they?
We're
Like, yeah,
just
we got to tell them the day.
chilling. We're just
Right, we got to tell
hanging out.
them, hey, this game releases when? Right.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. All right, let's get back to what. Yeah, so we'll hit our reads, and that's my job to set it up. But
Yeah.
it's my job to keep people comfortable and everybody in chat happy too. So yeah, it's rewarding.
That's
It's
cool.
different. But it's
Yeah.
rewarding. You might hear somebody cuss somebody out in your ear. I'll give you that. But yeah, just be ready for anything.
Got you. I love that. So, okay. So, if somebody wants to get into hosting and doing like the things like what you do, what do you think is something that's important to have in like a demo reel or a video that
Mm.
showcases your talent?
Whoever you're applying for, make it appeal to them. So you got to know your brand, and you're gonna have like maybe three separate reels for sure. Like I've done online hosting where I was hosting. I've done several online hosting shows where I host a show weekly,
Mhm.
and I just use examples from that. I'm very lucky that on my media kit, those shows have really cute, really standard brand. Like they all matched up. Like for Fight Night,
Nice.
AMC, it's all, and even with Twitch, it was all the same type of branding. So it looked really synonymous on my media kit.
Yeah.
So you look at that and you know, oh wow, she was on these shows and they're right there and they all are just so neatly organized. I know exactly what she's done over these past 3 months. With your reel, like I know for me, esports, if I wanted to get more into esports, I'd show myself an Ultimate Crown.
Okay.
I'd show myself I work with G2. I'd show all of my my informal interviews,
Yeah.
and I would show anything related to that sector. So just really sit back as an employer, right? Like get into their head, look at the application and say, okay, if I was hiring, what do I want to see?
Right.
Oh, something that literally looks like what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me do that. So definitely try to get those exciting moments. I did put in one time. It was really nice being recognized at San Diego Comic-Con. Really enjoyed that. And you can put those like heartfelt moments in there too, because it shows that you've done this. Like, oh wow, yeah, like people see her, respect her. Whoa, that's great. So put like some selfish stuff in there too, like I've done this. I
Yeah.
do this. Yeah, see that, and have fun with it. Like, impress yourself.
Yeah.
I remember one time I applied to something, and I had kind of just threw it together because I didn't think it was an opportunity I was going to get anyway. I was like, just apply. First of all, what is for you won't miss you. I promise. So apply as much as you can to anything, everything that you're interested in. And I applied to this thing that I thought I wasn't going to get. And I just kind of threw it together because I was like, well, it looks good, but this will be what it is. And we got it. And it kind of gassed me up. I shouldn't have took any pride in that because I was like, I could have done way better.
Yeah.
Like I really could, and that kind of kicked me in the butt because I was like, next time if I'm applying to anything, don't ever half do it.
Yeah.
But they said it was their favorite, like their favorite application, and I was like, wow, really? And you'll notice that as you keep doing this, like even your worst is some people's best,
Yeah.
and you'll just get the experience that you need to just knock everything out of the park naturally. So you'll be doing it so much, like applications will be easy for you. So
Yeah.
just keep doing them.
I love that. Like my mantra to myself, I have it on a post-it note right behind my desk right here. It says never say no to yourself. Never say no to
Yes.
yourself. Just do whatever, apply to whatever and forget about it. And then you if
Yes.
you get it or you don't, and then that's it. You
Set
know?
it and forget it. I do that
Yep.
all the time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that you touched on a little bit something that I think we all deal with in this space a great deal is like that imposter syndrome of not telling yourself that you're good enough. Like I love that you said impress yourself because people are scared, I think to talk about themselves and recognize their wins because it feels like narcissistic, but I think it's just you if you don't like pat yourself on the back and recognize all the things that you've done, like it's hard to see how much you've grown, you know?
You're exactly right. I think people I had this conversation a while back and they said it so well and I can't quite remember it. They were talking about being somebody said keep yourself humble. And or how do you keep yourself humble from all the success that you've had? And I think a lot of people don't understand like fully what success is because you're your biggest critic, right? You're always going to be sitting there on you're going to be chirping in your own head about like, oh well, this could have been better, somebody did this better than you did, or this is don't even finish this project, it's trash. um Ultimately you need to give yourself, of course, we've said this a million times, but you do need to give yourself a break, bro. Like sometimes when you put stuff like people don't even get to put stuff out consistently. I know I surely do not. Like it's hard even putting something out consistently, turning the start live or just start streaming button on like every day. That is already something 90% of Twitch does not do. So if you can even do that, you need to take that as a win. The fact that you have at least like even if you have like 20 people, 50, 105, like that those are people in there watching you. And I'm not saying you got to sit there and be grateful, but know that you have somewhere to start. Be happy you have somewhere to start and take that as a win. You have to readjust and give yourself what you got to motivate yourself. There we go. That's what you got to be your number one cheerleader because there were years of my career where I had to hype myself up. I didn't have people hyping me up. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't. Like it's and I can't expect that because nobody knew who I was.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew what I could do. Like all I could do was keep putting out stuff that was cool and showed people that I could do these things that they find impressive if, it impresses them.
Mm-hmm.
And from there you talk. That's another thing. Collaborate, motivate, and execute. Like that's really it. And yeah, like I think when people say keeping yourself humble, I think it's good to respect what people do. I think because there's like the two sides of it.
Yeah.
We definitely talk ourselves down, but we don't talk ourselves up. So that's why I tell people I'ma always say I'm the best at X, or I'ma always be like I'm gonna be competitive, or I'm gonna be super proud of my craft. I'ma always come at it at like I'm the best at this in
Yeah.
some ways, especially if it's something that I own. Like I've been doing computer science. I've been coding for like over a decade now, and it's not something that anybody can tell me that I'm not good at or I'm okay at. Like I know what I can do, and you don't have to prove stuff to people
Yeah.
because you know what you can do. It's not they're not an authority of who you are, only you are.
Mm-hmm.
So if the only end all be all is you, then why wouldn't you be nice to yourself? Why wouldn't you celebrate yourself? Like, you got two options. So when people say be humble or the imposter syndrome, it's all about respect because you need to respect yourself.
Yeah.
Respect yourself by treating yourself right.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that you know your life better than anybody, you know your ability, you know your aptitude. Then get in there and motivate yourself. When you talk nice to yourself, you would prefer to do better stuff. Like, you want to do better work. But also, what keeps you respectful is respecting the other people around you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, y'all are out here killing it. And I'm never going to sit back and be like, oh, yeah, I'm the best. I totally do it all and no one can touch me. No, the reason why I'm the best is because I look at y'all and y'all are killing it and y'all motivate me to do better. So it's not like I think I'm the only one in the room. I'm surrounded by people who do amazing things and they're pushing me forward.
Yeah.
So, yeah, ultimately respect yourself, respect others, respect their craft, learn from them, and maybe they'll learn from you. And understand you have something to bring to the table, no matter where you are. Seriously, because we were doing front page stuff before we were partner.
Yeah.
We were doing work. We were working with companies when we were affiliate.
Yep.
Like, I was at 10 viewers when I was doing my hosting gigs. Like, it wasn't anything major. I wasn't pulling numbers. It was just that I could show that I had this skill. You can
Yep.
sell yourself at every level. You can do whatever you want at any level. It's all about luck. It is luck. Don't get it twisted. You get lucky, but you can maximize your luck by putting your best foot forward at every moment of your career. Every moment. Like, when you come into my stream, I know it's not always the best, but I'll put my best when it comes to interaction. Like, if anything, you're gonna feel like I addressed you and we had a full conversation,
Yeah.
and you knew that I was talking to you when I was staring at this camera. I'm talking to you. How you
Yeah.
been? How's your Wednesday? What's going on? Do you feel like sharing? Cool, let's talk about it. And yeah, so with that, I just want people to know that I'm happy to engage. We can have a fun, full conversation, and just be us.
Yeah.
There's no,
Mm.
it's natural. There's no strings attached. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that used to kill me, and I always flop on the imposter syndrome conversation
Yeah.
because I can't say I haven't felt that way. I want to
Right.
think I have it. I want to think that I'm confident when I walk into a space or I belong there.
Right.
But yeah, it would be very conceited to think that I don't feel like I haven't earned it. And I
Yeah.
definitely feel like that sometimes where I'm like, and I guess it could be better.
Yeah.
You know, I could be at this level. I
I-
guess
I-
I could bump up my numbers a little, like stuff like that.
yeah.
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 Hmm.
I agree. I feel like the way I think about it sometimes is like the little voice in my head, like whenever they start talking like that, it's like, well, you don't know me. Like, you clearly don't know me. Like, you're saying all these things that is not true. Like, just because it is the loudest voice in my mind doesn't mean it's the right voice in my mind, you know?
Exactly.
My
I
brain
finally
is,
sat back in. Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Your
No,
brain?
my brain is designed to keep me alive, not to necessarily keep me happy.
Yes.
So, you know,
Yes.
it's like if things feel unsafe because it's new or different or it's a risk, my brain is going to be like, oh, that's scary. Don't do that. But
Hmm.
you got to press through that. You got to be like, nah, 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 I got this, you know?
It's a skill.
Yeah.
It's almost like, loving yourself or building a relationship with yourself or a relationship with other people is a skill. You have to train it. I've actively been training that now for years. And I think that's like the one healthy thing that comes with streaming is like it forces you to talk. And I'm finally reading chat and I see y'all popping off in here. Yeah, it's you can't afford to be humble. Not like and actually no, I think that's the wrong way to say it. You can't afford to be meek. You
There
can't
you
afford
go.
to be quiet. You
There
know
you
what I
go.
mean? Like, you can be humble. And again, I think humble and respect are pretty synonymous. Like, humble is somebody, it's like a flavor of respect where you're not over, like, you're boisterous, you're oversharing in your accomplishments, and you're using that to put people down. Like,
Right. Right.
there's a time and a place. I'm gonna never walk into a room and tell people, "Oh, hi, I'm Chelsea Bytes, and I'm the host of Amazon AMC and of these other companies that you may not have heard of. Oh, right, Netflix. Oh, right, X, Y, and Z. Like, I'm not about to go and dump on people with the work that I've done because what does that serve me and them?
Right.
They're not a producer. They're not they're not a rep. Like they don't even work with that company. Connect with people as a person, and then when they ask, then you say that stuff. Like if people want to know, then you share how great you are. And there's always a time and a place.
Yeah.
So yeah, always be humble. Don't be meek. Don't
Yeah.
be don't be quiet. Like if you have the time to gas yourself up, do it. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people I see don't have the skill to they don't know how to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
I think that's a skill that people also need to learn about. When you have an experience, you need to study yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still practicing that today. Like, if somebody were to walk up to me today and be like, "Oh man, what type of on like what type of man on the street interviews have you done?" Am I able to pull back from all those years? Like,
Yeah.
oh well, I started with this thing called side quests, and we did some interviews at a unit. No, that's not. No,
Yeah. Yeah.
I worked
Yeah.
with I worked with Comcast some years back. That was my first gig at about 25 viewers when I was an affiliate, and we got to interview for several days, for several hours, and pitched ourselves to a major network.
Yeah.
And then you move on and you build up. Like, start with what you know,
Yeah.
research yourself, know your stuff, and be proud of what you've done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could go all day on this.
I love that. I love. Oh my God. No. Yeah. It's. I think it's really valuable, and it's insight that I feel like we don't get to hear a lot on Twitch. So it's really
Yes.
awesome. It's really
I'm
awesome.
sorry if you had more questions.
No, I listen. I have so many. I didn't get to. There's so many I didn't even get to. But
I know. I'm so sorry.
no, that's cool. No,
'Cause I'm
listen.
looking,
We
I'm
were
like-
supposed to play a game, and I was like, "All right, forget the game. We're just gonna
I
talk
know.
now."
I got it jingling in my ear. I was like, "Oof, yeah,
Forget.
that game."
Yeah,
I
forget
feel
the
like if
game.
we got to the game, I wasn't saying enough. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. Nah, we can forget the game. I really love just learning from you, and I'm sure chat is, appreciative of the experiences that you're sharing and all of the insight, because there's so many things that I feel like people want to learn about. Like, for example, you touched on sponsorships. And
For sure.
that's a question that people talk about, or at least ask me all the time. How do you get a sponsorship? How do you keep a sponsorship? Or how do you make yourself like even visible to people who are offering sponsorships? And I think it's really important to get into those things, because that's what keeps what we do, like it keeps me profitable and able to continue. So
Imagine.
how
I
do
feel like
you?
yeah, how do I do it? I
Yeah.
just gotta like note, like, you're working with what I think that is no easy feat what you've accomplished, especially with like your branding. You killed that, because there's some avenues that are really difficult to pursue, and like, I just got to give you your props.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
impressed. There's just some brand navigation that's really difficult to
Yeah.
do, and you did that, like, bro.
Well, I will say that I have a degree in advertising and graphic
Exact.
design.
See, you could just
So that's
see.
where it comes
Yes,
from.
exactly. There's
Yeah.
no surprise. It's just cool to see, because I could not, like, it would take me much longer to pull that off.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, hey,
it's
we
it's
could always talk about that if you want to just like sit and
oh,
chop
I'm
it up
about it
and yeah,
for sure.
please,
There's so much I
anytime.
can learn. Please, yes.
Any like day, night, I don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, you want to chat about it, I will be
I'm gonna
happy
send
to
you
help you on that.
questions.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
let's go.
time. Yeah, with that, for me personally, because I feel like everybody's journey or experience when it comes to working with brands or sponsorships or anything like a campaign, just a one-off, or you have a healthy relationship with them and they come back to you. Like, I know for some charities, it's a yearly thing, annual thing, monthly, quarterly. Every relationship is different.
Mhm.
So for me, I've pursued several avenues for that. At first, it was mostly applications and talking about what I wanted to do online. So Twitter was a really big tool with that. And if you're on Twitter, there are so many community devs or like community leaders on game studios. This is if you're specifically looking for game stuff, right? Talk to them. Talk to them. Like if you're looking for those game releases and you're curious about how you get into the beta or if you can get an early review copy, they are doing a much better job of spreading across every demographic or I'll say size of creator online. You just
Mm-hmm.
got to be there. Go to the conversation. So if there's a company you want to work with, like me and Sony Santa Monica,
Mm-hmm.
like that wasn't me just sitting there just posting cosplay pictures. I was posting and talking and having every conversation I could possibly have with that studio at every like waking moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it was work. It was building up a relationship, following devs that I really respect their work,
Mm-hmm.
and just watching the development and engaging in their community
Mm-hmm.
because that's what they want. You got to give these companies what they want. But also you'll be surprised like on a lot of these websites there's like influencer portals.
Yep.
There's like PR port like you are PR. You are. Like you
Yep.
may not be like what you would think PR is, but you are PR. Like you could
Yeah.
go and pitch for an interview. If there's somebody you want to talk to, you have to put yourself out there. Now, don't go just harassing folk and doing unsolicited. Don't say you found somebody's email on LinkedIn, even though they, you know, dang well their emails are close to that. Don't go and put a bad taste in someone's mouth with your name in it
Yeah.
because you will mess yourself up.
Yeah.
But if it's clearly for you, go and start putting your names on someone's list. Like I used to get oh when I was in LA a lot, like way more than I am now. I was on every list for every little opening event for whether it be a game studio
Mm-hmm.
or a gaming event.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it really is just like the place. Like there are just some places where you get more access, but you
Mm-hmm.
still have access online.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to look. There's four. Like I remember, Crown was a Twitter post which led to a application site, and it was not very obvious
Yeah.
that it was going to lead to that. But you have to do the work. You have to put yourself out there. Now, taking opportunities like on Twitch with Front Page, I'll say that specifically led to me getting an agent and an org, which
Okay.
was all very good timing. It was all capitalizing on a moment.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to stress out capitalizing on a single moment. But when you do have that moment, just do what you think is best for you.
Mm-hmm.
We did it for Women's Month a few years back. And I spent that whole stream just talking about how much I love women. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, women are the best. They are
Mm-hmm.
awesome. They're literally every part of my support like team. All of the people that I know who are just so amazing to me are women. I mean, my mother, she deserves the world. Like all of that. Like I just chose that day when I was on the front page to talk about women.
Mm-hmm.
And that resonated not just with my org that signed me on, but with my agents as well. And that was all very fresh and new to me.
Mm-hmm.
I had never worked with an agent. I had never worked with an esports organization at that. I'd worked with an org.
Mm-hmm.
I was signed with an org then, but I had not been with an esports org.
Mm-hmm.
So that moment led to just other opportunities that I would never have had access to.
Mm-hmm.
And while I still was bringing in very valuable sponsorships, campaigns, and things like that on my own, because I still was going out of my way to apply. Don't get listless whenever you get a an agent. They're there to supplement. That's it. They're not
Yep.
there to make or break your career. I think if any agent says, "Oh, I can take you anywhere," I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
sure,
Hmm.
sure. I
Yeah.
think you can take me somewhere.
Yeah.
But but yeah, and then that's not to down any agent. There are definitely agents out there that can. It's just I don't want anybody to think that I'm just gonna leave it in their hands
Right.
because the only way this works best is when we're both working.
Right.
And I will work. And I kind of kept my agents running in pace with me because I was like, I shouldn't be bringing in ever any more work than you are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if we're gonna keep this mutual relationship going, then you need to keep up with me.
Right.
So yeah, like that opened up to more publishers, developers reaching out to me because representation means you get a whole nother pool of contacts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's nice. That's very nice. There were
Yeah.
opportunities I would not have gotten on my own, even as I was growing. Then, it's still hard to get that visibility. And then with this esports org that I've been working with for the past 2 years now, it's just changed how I see esports in general. Like, it's great because the access that you're looking for when it comes to players, when it comes to competitions, I'm very competitive. I love going to competitive league games.
Yeah.
It's just it lets you have the access that you need to capture that kind of content, and then
Yeah.
you can present that and put yourself into that space. So get on Twitter, follow your favorite devs, look ahead and see what events are happening. Like, they'll be talking about when these game releases are. You cannot go and message somebody a couple weeks before a game releases and ask for a code. Make sure you share your media kit. You need to get a media kit together. Keep it short, sweet, to the point. Do not overflow with a whole bunch of words. Put your numbers first, but always remember your numbers do not define you, not fully. That is not the full picture. And there's so many ways that you can share your statistics and paint a picture with your channel, because really what they're looking for is a meaningful activation.
Mm-hmm.
Does this resonate with this base? Does this make sense? Would they be able to create unique moments? Could we share this on our socials?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can get a fun moment from any channel.
Mm-hmm.
You could get a unique engagement from any channel, no matter how many viewers you have. Things happen. You can't gatekeep. You can't gatekeep moments. Like, it is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, it's really about people getting down and doing the work. I'm pulling a real Kim right now, but yeah, you gotta you gotta work.
Yeah.
No, nope. I'm gonna say it's Brittany.
Yeah,
Brittany,
it's Brittany. It's
you
Brittany.
gotta work. It's Brittany B. But
It is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very
No,
much that.
that is so awesome because like I will say the one thing though, like that I started to get scared a little bit about was like, especially when you said like Twitter. Twitter has opened so many doors for me as
Mm-hmm.
well in terms of I get to meet devs, talk to them, and they have found my content through, the consistent posting and things like that. And that is how I've gotten a lot of sponsorships. And when all that weird stuff was happening, well, are we going to even use Twitter anymore? Are we not going to use
I
Twitter
know.
anymore? I started to panic. And then I started
Yeah.
to look into, all right, how am I going to use TikTok for this? How am I going to use YouTube
Yes.
Shorts for this? Am I going to build my
Exactly.
own website? That's what I started doing.
Precisely. And you have
Yeah.
to. They're back to diversifying,
Yeah.
which by the time that happened on Twitter, I had built so many contacts, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
because once you use opportunities to build to bigger ones.
Right.
And sure, not every opportunity is going to lead to the next thing. But when you're posting yourself, whether it be on TikTok or Twitter, when you're showing that you're doing things and you're active, it only helps you.
Right.
Only,
Right.
even if it only gets like 20 likes, the only one person has to see it, and then they're
Right.
like, yes, right.
Could have
And I
had
know
that
Twitter.
one like that mattered.
Exactly. And yeah, Twitter is, ugh, baby. And
I know.
I don't want to say that it's still not a useful tool. I know it's in flux and it's doing what algorithms do. Um, I literally have Twitter Blue because I like my folders.
Mhm.
That's it. I like my
Mhm.
folders, and I really hate what it's become, because truly it's not even a model that I feel is going to assuage whatever losses they've had with their profits. Like, it really was done for no reason.
Yeah.
And I hate it so much.
Yeah.
But I still have a love for Twitter because that was like the first platform where I felt seen. I
Yep.
was I was, like, you go and you post a clip from a game and people like that. I'm like,
Yep.
oh, hey, let's go. But you're right. There's so many other avenues that you can go down. I hate that Twitter seems so established, and that's like the easiest way to get in contact with companies. Like, you can still use that engagement feature of it all, like reaching out, being in their comments, looking at their updates, putting that notification bell on, so whenever they tweet, you know what they're tweeting, because Twitter doesn't always keep you updated. Nothing's really
Mhm.
chronological anymore. But yeah, like, Instagram's great too. It's not like, I mean, Facebook's Facebook, but or Meta's Meta.
Yeah.
But yeah, Facebook's not a bad second. And then TikTok, I feel, ugh, I think because I don't fully understand TikTok, I love it as a search engine. I love it as like putting out really short form, very snappy content. But it's an interesting platform.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beast I have yet to tame.
Yeah. Same. Same. Especially like TikTok Live and all that kind of stuff. I agree with you there.
Hmm.
Um.
Oh, the streaming part, yes. Oh my god,
Yeah.
see the streaming part's really cool because it's like a big note. Now it seems really obscure for everybody on the outside looking in for the streaming functionality of it all. Because
Yeah.
I mean, like, how do you? I got my stream key through my agents,
Right.
and like that insider, like I was lucky that I had built a connection. Like if my agent somehow didn't pull it through when I went to the esports awards, I was talking to TikTok developers who
Yeah.
had like live keys ready. They were
Right.
like, hey, if you want to do it. So that's it's like you got to be in the right room to even get access to stuff like that because they don't have like I don't think they have a portal for you to apply to.
No, they
Or
don't. I
yeah,
don't think
like
so.
you just got to figure it out.
And the
Now
way I got one too was because of Twitter.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
it's putting yourself out there and you got to find a way.
Yeah.
So there's some things we can't like spell out for you. I'd have to say like you'll have to be that's the creator slash influencer part of it all.
Yep.
There is a problem, there is a solution that you have to find.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish you the best in finding it and your creative solution to doing that. A lot of stuff is basically being in the right place at the right time, talking to the right people at the right time, and knowing the right people at the right
Mm-hmm.
time. There's so
Mm-hmm.
many different avenues. So you see how all of it boils down to you talking. Hmm. You gotta start talking.
Yep.
Don't be quiet. Don't
Yep.
be quiet. Some people can afford to be quiet. I can't. Not yet. I can't. I'm gonna keep
Yeah.
talking.
Yo,
Yeah.
same, same. I
Mm-hmm.
totally feel you on that. Okay, so one more thing I want to get into because we've been going for almost 2 hours. Like,
Easy, right?
I know it's so
Easy.
much fun. I love it. I love it. You spoke earlier about women and their influence in your life. Tell us about the fact that you're the in the Twitch Women Guilds, you're the leader there, and what that experience has been like, and what you hope to bring to the Twitch Women's Guild.
So everything that we just described here, right? Communicating, collaborating, and we didn't even talk about like the streamer to streamer part to it.
Right.
Right? Like there's
Yeah.
stuff I have my opinions. I'll speak on the guild part in just a second.
Okay.
I have my opinions on what every platform could be doing better. I
Right.
can't help it. I look at algorithms all the time and I'm like, okay, I can tell that they value this and they want to see more of this. And if you do this, then you'll get better at this. Like on Twitch, the
Yeah.
longer you stream, the more you will see. Like
Yeah.
it's ultimately it's a sad truth, but the more you spend of your life on this platform, the more it will give back. Now,
Yes.
it's not the only thing you can do,
Right.
obviously. Like you got to do more than that, but that is like the base of it. You
Mm-hmm.
got to put hours on this
Mm-hmm.
platform.
Mm-hmm.
I saw literal and my husband has to tell me this all the time because I'll forget and be like, well, I ain't got to stream. Like, I can work on something else. Sometimes it's like the ebb and flow of like, well, I got to do YouTube and I got to do Twitter because Twitter's not just tweeting. Like, you got to go and make clips. You got to
Yep.
go and like think of things that like go do photo shoots and stuff like that for all your platforms. And there's so much you can put into each one.
Yep.
So you sometimes you feel overwhelmed and you're like, man, I got to take time to edit for my YouTube. Maybe I need to put more effort into my YouTube, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
But ultimately, for Twitch, when you raid new people, when you stream more, when your chat, especially the big one is when you have a lot of people talking in your chat,
Yep.
chat engagement. Those are the big drivers to viewership, and that's what everybody's seeking is viewership because viewership means you're higher up on the list. You're higher up in any category.
Yep.
Everybody's seeking that.
Yep.
So ultimately, those three things are what lead to sponsorship seeing you or sponsor seeing you or brand seeing you. And sure, yeah, they have to be in that category. They have to be around to catch you. But if you're always at the top, then it's easier. And I personally feel that it shouldn't be put on the creator as much
Mm-hmm.
sometimes to grab that viewership. I think viewership and like on TikTok when it comes to views, right? Like when you
Yeah.
sometimes you'll put a TikTok up and you look up and it's like what 300,000 likes?
Yep.
What? Like the 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 exposure is insane on TikTok.
Yeah.
So with certain platforms, I'll look and I'll be like, yeah, I think it could be easier for people to get started on Twitch. It could be easier for things to, or people to be seen on Twitch. I'm not sure exactly what's going on behind the algorithm or what exactly they're valuing, but I know those three things to be true.
Yeah.
And it does put a lot on the creator to bust their butt to go and be seen and to
Yeah.
share their personality, their setup, their gameplay, everything to be seen. But another big one is when you raid and you network.
Yeah.
Like you need to be not just raid. I used to for a long time just raid people that I knew.
Yeah.
Um, and that's great. That's great and all, but Twitch is not going to recommend you to new people if you're not raiding new people.
Hmm.
And you don't grow your community if you're rating the same people all the time. And I love them. I love that. But you have to expand. So, as a streamer, you should always be looking to expand your network. So,
Mhm.
make new friends, make as many
Mhm.
new friends all the time,
Mhm.
and build off of that. And you need to be rating each other, of course. And y'all need to be collaborating, like how we're doing Guest Star right now.
Yeah.
Using tools that Twitch has put out helps you as a
Yup.
creator.
Yup.
So pay attention to what companies are pushing. So clearly, collaborating, using Guest Star, and interacting with other streamers and upping your communities.
Yup.
Always like, mwah, like that's only gonna help you. So yeah, with guilds, I'm trying to instill those things: collaboration, opportunities, using your Twitch tools to your max. Because I know some people are wondering, like, man, why wasn't I used um, in this promotional? This
Yeah.
is literally my base. I mean,
Right.
Pride is tomorrow, right?
Right. Right.
So a lot of people are gonna. I can already feel it. I can see some people who are looking up and they're like, man, I really wanted to be a part of these Pride promotionals or these Pride things on Twitch tomorrow,
Right.
and they haven't heard anything. A lot of people haven't filled out their surveys, and you can't just do that once. Like you got to do that every year.
Right.
Like you need to be on those Twitch tools because they don't know. It's like data that they can't pull on their own. They're not allowed to pull it unless you share it. They're not going to
Right.
magically know that you are a Black woman who is also in the LGBTQIA plus community.
Right.
I had to share that information, right?
Right. Right.
So knowing all of your tools and appeasing the algorithm gods is very important. And with guilds, I just want to demystify that for women because I'm a women's guild leader along with my co-lead, Coco Confessions.
Yes.
She is a hard worker. I highly respect her. She
Love
is amazing.
Coco. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I'm kind of the one who sits back and I'm really technical like, okay, we got a space. We have our space. This is how this works. Whatever you need, I'm going to try to make it happen. I'm very logistical. I'm like, who do I need to talk to? Great. Okay, perfect. And definitely room for the emotional side of it too because already it's amazing the backgrounds and stories that the women I've been working with have, and they are so collaborative. It is
Yeah.
nuts. What I've loved about these this month of working with these women is that they are already just on it.
Yeah.
Like the assignment has been heard, and y'all are reaching out to everybody in the space, asking for assistance, asking for advice, filling out those or not even filling out those not the surveys, asking questions to each other like in the
Yeah.
community. And when y'all have opportunities, y'all are sharing them.
Yeah.
Like yes, that's I'm trying to keep up with them now.
Yeah.
So the guild is just a way for me to provide access to Twitch because it's not a Twitch run program, it's a Twitch sponsored program. We're running it, and very much we've been very candidly sharing our opinion of what they could be doing better.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like when it comes to these unity months like Pride,
Mhm.
we want to be included on what that looks like, who's working with who, what's being put out, what does X look like, and we're trying to wiggle our way in there so we can get as much control over what looks genuine, intentional to streamers on Twitch.
Mhm.
Because mistakes have been made. Mistakes have been made with Unity months in the past, and I'm not gonna call them all out, but if you were there, you saw. And I feel like these programs could just make it only 10x better, and we
Mhm.
don't
Mhm.
trip up on that stuff in the future. But yeah, as a guild leader, I'm hoping this inspires collaboration. I know not every there can't be a guild for every single thing, but
Mhm.
I feel like we're definitely in like the process of hopefully expanding to more guilds and then getting more informal guilds in everybody's communities.
Yeah.
So it'd be great if people were making their own guilds or their own literal streamer communities, which already exist. But
Right.
how great would it be if they could go to Twitch and be like, hey, we're like a Twitch guild and we're running on our own. We want to talk to this person so we can push this event for this month or
Mhm.
just get some help because we're part of the streaming community too. And
Right.
we'd like to, submit for that. So ultimately we're like paving the way so we can make these pathways that give us better access to Twitch. Because I think the number one thing is, how do I get front page?
Right.
Oh, well, how do I get on these promos?
Right.
Who do I talk to about Creator Camp? Things like that, like things they want to be involved in, but they just don't know who to talk to.
Right.
And yeah, I'm passionate about making that easy. I'm an general coder. I love automating things. So whatever makes it easy for everyone, that's what I want.
I love that. Oh man. Well, I think so far, I mean, I've been a part of some of the meetings that you all have had and see all the opportunities that have been in in the Twitch Guild, and it has impacted me. So you're already doing those things that you're talking about. So I'm really happy to even be a part of that. But
Yeah,
that's
I got
really
to interview
cool.
you. How do you feel about? Give me my review. I gotta say, so right now there are three guilds. And there's the Latin, Black, and Women's Guild, and we are all thinking of ways to support each other because, again, when it comes to underrepresented groups on any platform, you can't ask for help if you're not gonna support the others. So
Mhm.
it's always just this interlock. Like, how are we gonna support this guild at this time? So while it does feel like we have our separate guilds, it still feels like one big guild overall
Mhm.
because I'm
Mhm.
like, there's so much overlap.
Mhm.
Like, of course, there are Latin women. Of course, there are Black women. Of
Yeah.
course, there are Latin Black women.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can fit in all of that.
Yeah.
And there's just a layer. Like, we want to make spaces where y'all can talk about streaming on Twitch or opportunities on Twitch or your experience on Twitch, and you feel like you're in a space to do that.
Yeah.
And I hope that that just only grows. This program needs to persist.
Yeah.
It needs to keep going.
It's so important because like even like what we were talking about earlier, just having a place where you can kind of talk shop. Hey, are you dealing with the same thing that I'm dealing with, or did you notice like whatever, like I want to be involved in this thing? And yeah, I think it's a really important space to have. So thank you
There's
for
a
sharing a bit about that.
Yeah, let me hurry up. I see me. I know I like to talk. I see a great question. Is there a place to maybe access some of the advice and knowledge that's being shared in the guilds without being a partner? I am thinking about ways to not just because it is a partner only program at the moment. And I know we're doing some things on the side so we can expose what we're trying to learn and share together on one of our Twitch platforms, maybe Creator Camp, maybe some live streams, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious to see what we can do to bring more of the community within
Mm-hmm.
Twitch because I don't want to think that like the knowledge and things that we're sharing is being gate kept.
Yeah.
Like we're still gonna share everything that we want outside to our communities, and I am thinking of ways to share what Guilds has done with everybody. So
Mm-hmm.
keep an eye out for that. I'm glad you asked.
Yeah. Good
Yes.
question.
I
Thank you
hope
for
that
sharing that.
answered your questions
Oh
truly.
yes, yes. Pretty much everything. The only one I see here that I really want to know is people ask these kinds of questions all the time, but I did a different version of it. Luigi or Tails?
Tails. I'm glad
Oh.
you asked that. Yeah, that's a great. I just feel like Tails, bro. Like Luigi was just too scary for me all the time. Like I got annoyed with Luigi. I'm sorry. Like Luigi was and Tails was so brave, even when all the things that and like a lot of people haven't read Sonic. Like
Mhm.
it's nuts. It's kind
Uh-huh.
like it gets intense. I have to root for Tails. I do. Tails is
Okay.
my boy. I love him.
Okay. Well, Chelsea, we've been talking for 2 hours. I know you streamed earlier. I know you're probably tired. You want to go get something to eat, chill out. So this is gonna be the conclusion to the Awesome Streamer Hour. Thank you so much for sharing so many, golden nuggets of information, all of you and who you are, and all of the amazing accomplishments that you've had on Twitch. Everyone from my channel, please make sure and go and follow Chelsea Bites for sure.
Thank you guys. Next time, I promise for the next streamer hour, y'all actually get gameplay. This is very similar to my stream. I don't game on my stream either, really. We just be talking. I'll look up and be like, oh, yeah, a game. Right.
And I love what you play. I love what you were talking about. We're having like the tea on the couch conversation, like what villain is like relatable. Like, I kind of want to answer those questions. That sounds like it would be fun.
Do that. Do that. Do it. Do your thing. Make your segments.
Yeah.
Hop in there, answer those questions.
So thank you so much once again, everyone. Go and follow Chelsea. Chelsea, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you for spending an evening with us. Do you have an idea of someone we should raid? Let's raid somebody, chat.
Ooh, chat. Does chat want to pick, or do y'all want me to pick? Because you know me, I'm about to hop into here. Just in case. Let me see who beats me. Let me see if y'all beat me.
Because like you were saying, it's always cool to raid somebody new, and I think that's so
I'm
important.
Going straight to the Women's Guild. You know me.
Oh, Coco is live.
Look, hop in. Coco's live. Let's do it. Because I was just pulling up a page. I was like, who's out there? Who's popping? I was gonna show Coco all of the love, because I could not do any of this without Coco. And yes, I love seeing this page. I love sitting on the Women's Guild page because y'all stream so much. Y'all do.
For real.
Yeah, go show Coco. Just go in there and say, hey, girl, hey, thank you for everything. We love you. And that's perfect.
Yep. There you go. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm gonna okay, here we go. Ash, remember how to stream? There we go. All right.
Same for me.
There we go.
Thank you again. And it was so wonderful being here. And I'm gonna let you say proper goodbyes. But thank y'all so much for listening.
Thank you.
And talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Bye. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, for supporting the channel, for listening in on the conversation. I learned so much from Chelsea. Chelsea is a wealth of information, knowledge, super smart, very giving, and is incredibly amazing. So please make sure to go and follow ChelseaBytes and go and hang out there. And I'll definitely see you all for the next one. I don't know when the next Awesome Streamer Hour will be, but you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and here on Twitch to find out more when that will happen again. And let's go hang out with Coco and tell Coco hi, and that Coco's the best. So I'll see you all later. Don't forget to tell your friends Ash said hi. Bye-bye, everybody.